Well, welcome to the channel, everyone. As you can tell by the thumbnail, I had a pretty awesome start to my 2024 deer season and tagged out pretty quick. And it's kind of cool too. This was the first time that I've ever filmed a hunt on a buck before. And I did get one last year, but it was a doe. But it was kind of cool to film my first ever buck on video. And before anyone says anything, baiting is actually illegal in North Dakota. I did put out some corn. I really only typically bait in early season. Or late season if I haven't gotten one. Because at that time, they're pretty easy to pattern if you can get on a bait system. Early season's good because they haven't been hunted yet and people haven't been in there. And then late's always good because they're hungry. So, but again, North Dakota, it is legal. There is actually some units where you can't bait. And so always check the regulations to see if your unit is available to bait legally. But as I said before, this is kind of my first time ever really filming a hunt all by myself. And hopefully next year I actually have a decent camera and get a little better quality. All I had was kind of my phone and GoPro, so the quality isn't the highest. And eventually if this channel grows, I'll invest more and get a really nice camera, so hopefully I can bring a better deer hunt to you guys. So hopefully you guys are excited and enjoy the video.
Well, it's about like 6 days before opener, and I'm kind of getting everything situated here. Got my GoPro stuff and my camera armed, and I've been trimming off some branches over here and stuff, and creating shooting lanes. So hopefully we can get the buck to show up and put an arrow through him. But this spot's pretty juicy. I think I've killed like 3 bucks here in the same spot, so hopefully we have some good luck.
Well, it's the day before opener. I'm gonna shoot my bow quick and kind of see which arrows are flying the best. I know you can change the nocks and stuff to make it fly better when you're fine tuning, but I like to shoot all my arrows and then pick like the 4 best flying arrows, and I'll kind of show you how I eliminate the bad ones, and then if there's a pattern with the good ones, I'll use those as my hunting arrows and then just use the others as my practice arrows. So I kind of show you what I do to prepare for the season and get my bow ready. So I shot my first round and I did it at 40 yards, and then I kind of just wrote down which ones did the best, which one are the closest to the center. And sometimes you know a pattern, like right here, that, I mean, obviously 185, that was pretty consistent. So I'll just kind of take the top 2 and then we'll go to the second round, see if they shoot better than the others, and then we'll just kind of eliminate the others for my best 4 arrows. So that's what I kind of do, just write down the numbers from 1, 2, 3 that did the best, and then kind of eliminate those bad ones. And then what I like to shoot is a G5 Mega Meats, and they actually come with the practice broadheads. So I like to try to mimic my hunting arrow as much as possible. If I were to use fixed blades, I'd use that, and then use the lighted nock that I'm going to be using. Make sure everything's the same weight, and just making sure that my setup's all the same that I'll be using out in the field. So I'll shoot the next few rounds and see how that goes. Well, I'm down to my 3 top arrows, and we'll see how they shoot in the final round and which one wins. And then for my last round, I'm gonna put my phone on there and show you guys just kind of some more shot angles and see how it does. Because eventually, if I don't shoot a deer this week, I'll probably try to decoy one later on in like October or something like that, pre-rut. So kind of show you, it's kind of a cool little thing where you just put your phone right up there and kind of see the shot. Looks pretty decent. And that's kind of how I show I have my 3 top arrows. Obviously 8 and 4, and the top 2. I had a Nick and 4, so I'm gonna have to exclude that, and then I'll probably just use 8 and 7 as my top arrows. But yeah, now I'll go to 30, and then since I was pretty close within the black on that, I'm just gonna aim for the white spot so I don't ruin any more arrows. So see how she goes, and hopefully they fly well for the last few practice shots before I put the actual broadheads on, and then the lighted nocks that I'll use that are newer. So well, there you can see you got the definitely the 3 best arrows, with them all making the final round, and hopefully the top one gets to go through the lungs of a whitetail. So all dialed in, my bows should be all tuned up. Hopefully we'll get a shot at them. All packed up, ready to go.
And I got my little chauffeur to take me out to the blind today, or tree stand. Right, buddy?
Very funny.
Am I gonna shoot a deer today?
I hope so.
You like that?
I would. Then I can hear you, or not hear you worry about it for 3 months.
Safety first. Always make sure you wear your harness. Get that all lathered up. Love you, buddy. Love you. Thank you. Well, I just got in right now. It's gusting pretty good. It's like, I'd say gusting at 20, 25. So I got in pretty quiet, didn't bust any deer. Wasn't seen or smelled. I should be fine. The wind's not great, but it's not bad for his direction. So it's a little warm. It's about like 78 degrees, but if he comes from the west, he is toasted. So hopefully we can put one on the ground. I got in here around 5 o'clock, so plenty early enough, and just kind of got settled in, and hopefully he shows himself. So fingers crossed. hopefully he comes along that edge right there and comes right there. Got some corn there and had some apples, but they're all gone, so. Whew.
After a while, that doe and fawn eventually went to the north, and then about a few minutes later, I heard coyotes howling like crazy, and they were probably only within 100 yards, and I thought, oh boy, hopefully this doesn't screw up the hunt, but luckily it didn't. And then eventually that doe and fawn worked their way back to where I was at in that corner of the field, and then out stepped the buck.
high, a little far back, but I think I got him. So I think I'm gonna give him quite a bit, and that's just a tad back. I think I'm gonna give him about an hour or so. See what my buddies say since I got the shot on film, but I'm freaking shaking. Yes. Oh man. All right, I've given him about a half hour. I'm just gonna get down and go look at my arrow on blood and see what I see.
Well, luckily with filming, you go back and look at the shot and you have it all recorded, because sometimes we all get buck fever and you just kind of forget what happened. And I thought I made a decent shot, but it looked farther back on film. But luckily, one of my buddies, Sam Solholt, he actually films a ton. So, and he said, because my camera was to the right and I was to the left, that it kind of looked like it was far back, but the arrow was actually going to come in towards it. So it ended up being a lot better than I originally thought when I looked back. So I was like, oh man, it's too far back. And I thought I was kind of SOL, but luckily, I had a really good blood trail. Like as soon as he ran off, like Sam noticed when I called him, he said, yeah, that thing was pumping right away. And those G5 megameats are unreal. Like the hole in it was like, it was huge. So I went down and I found my arrow and it looked like really good blood. And I just traveled for the first 15 yards, and I was like, okay, it's really good blood. So I went back to the truck and met up with Haley and her grandpa, and we just kind of looked at their footage and we thought, okay, let's give it a time. And I called my father-in-law Jerry too, and he's like, yeah, it's gonna pass away, but let's just give it time and eventually we'll find it. So Haley and her grandpa, we all went back out to where I last found blood, and for about the first 100 yards, like it was really good blood, like everywhere. And then about at that 100 yards or so, we eventually lost blood, and I was like, oh man, it was just kind of spot here, spot there. And then we got to the point where oh man, do we call it, or do we go back early in the morning? And Haley said, oh, there's a blood trail. And it was just covered. The beans were covered in blood, on both sides too. I don't know if he reopened up or what when he went into the beans, or if their blood was there, I just couldn't see it well with the soil after 100 yards. But once it went back into the beans, it was blood everywhere. And I'll kind of show you the audio from when I found it. I didn't get it on camera, but I did get the audio clip of when I first saw it, and I was pretty excited.
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
How are ya?
a luck charm. Hopefully. Sam thinks it's dead. His buddies are all saying dead. It just looks hot, or it looks back more because it's so, because my camera's to the right.
But you also thought you shot something with it.
No, I didn't. I just was looking at the camera.
You felt like it was a good shot,
Yeah.
from your point
Yeah.
of view.
You see how this? That's a lot of blood, isn't it? Look at that. Right? Yes! 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 Yes!
Way to go, way to go.
Oh.
Persistence there,
Yes! Yeah! Oh my gosh, he's way better than I thought. Oh!
He didn't get
Oh shoot. Well, I found him all tagged up. I didn't get the recovery video because it kind of been a cluster, and we tracked it for probably about 250 yards. The first 80 yards was really good blood, and after that it just kind of dried up. And then at about 150, 200, my wife Haley, she found the big trail where it was on, and it was just leaking like a sieve. So it only went 250 yards and found in the bean field. So thank gosh I had my wife to help track, because I was on the wrong trail, and she's like, I think it goes that way. So but worked out. So kind of a cool, unique buck. But yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about the history with kind of this genetics when I get home. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow because I have a lot of work to do. So I'll see you in the morning. Well, got them all loaded up, and we're going to take them to the taxidermist. So
What a cool freaking buck.
So if you ever shoot a velvet deer, the best thing to do is just cape it out right away and then get it in the freezer. That's pretty important to get it out on ice and get it cold. But also I recommend Lance with Willow Creek. He actually did all 4 of these animals here, the 3 deer and then the antelope, and he does a phenomenal job. He's one of the better big game taxidermists that I've seen, and he does a really phenomenal job. But I'll leave his link down here, and so if you shoot a deer this year or in the future, I'd definitely go look him up because he is one of the best taxidermists that I've had done for big game. So definitely go give him a look. But what a wild hunt that was, and a crazy deer. And I've actually had like I said, I had a little bit of history with one like that before, and I thought it was genetics, but I talked to Lance when I dropped off my deer, and he said sometimes that skull plate can get injured and cause it to grow weird. So initially I thought it was genetics, but I guess when I get my deer back, he'll kind of let me know if that skull plate was messed up. But I'll show you a picture of what that one looked like, and it was literally like the same spot like 7 years ago. And I thought maybe it might have been a relative, but who knows. But like I said, I'll have Lance kind of see what the skull plate looks like, and hopefully he lets me know if it was an injury or something like that, or maybe it is genetics, but who knows. So if you guys know, leave a comment and see what you guys think. If it's genetics, if they were comparable, or if it was just an injury and it happened to grow the same way. But it's kind of cool, and it was also fun to share that moment with my wife Haley and her grandpa. We do a lot of hunting together, her grandpa and I, so it was pretty cool to have him there, and then my wife with, and she's been with actually a few deer recoveries, and it's always good to have her there and kind of keep me calm, because I get a little worked up if you haven't told by my first reaction when I found it. I thought, oh man, we're not going to find it, but her grandpa and her stayed positive, and we ended up finding that deer, which was awesome. But I'm also excited for this year because it opened up a whole lot of possibilities this fall, because I did harvest it so early. That means you'll get to see more bird hunting videos. Last year I spent probably 25 to 30 days in the stand and didn't have much luck. I passed on a few deer that were pretty decent, and this year I ended up getting one opening day. It's the first August buck I've ever shot. I've shot a few like the second day of the season or third, but I've never gotten one on opening day in August, so it's kind of cool. I've actually harvested a buck in August, September, November, December, and January. So the only month I've never shot a buck in is October. So hopefully one of these years I do get one in October, like late in the month, like pre-rut or something, because that'd be kind of neat. But again, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! Bye!